Good morning. Yay, another Sunday to be together at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. Welcome to everyone. We're going to start you off with a few songs. I'm Sarah, this is Doug and Yvette, and this is a new song that Yvette introduced me to. So we're going to do it a few times, more maybe than we usually would, so you all can learn it. But yeah, welcome you to and stand if that's comfortable, and we'll get started.
God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God.
Let's do it one more time.
God is all there is, and I am one with God. God is all there is, and I am one with God. My heart is open to the full expression of that life living me. God is all there is, and I am one with God is. I am, and so it is. I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection is what life brings. I know God's in everything. I know God's in everything.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Beth and it's a joy to be with you today. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living in the center of Las Cruces. Here at the Center of Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. We're more than a Sunday service. We are a growing, heart-centered community grounded in spiritual principles and open-hearted love. Our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all, and it begins right here with how we show up for each other. If you're here for the first time, welcome. We're glad you found us. Be sure to stop by the welcome table in our social hall after the service to pick up a little gift from us. Inside you will find about who we are, a bookstore certificate, and a way to connect with us through our newsletter. And for those joining us online, welcome home. It's an honor to share this service with you. There's so much goodness unfolding here. So be sure to check out our newsletter to talk with one of us after the service. We'd love to get to know you better. Here's our announcements. The Power of Positive Intelligence. Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life workshop by Reverend Jean Sovereigns will be done after service Sunday, July 13th, which is next Sunday, and the fee is $20 if you'd like to stay. And also there's a summer book study. Looking for a little spiritual nourishment this summer? Join our Soulful Summer Circle. A 4-week, say that 3 times, a 4-week brown bag book study of the 4 agreements. Thursday at 12 o'clock to 1:30. It starts July 7th to August 7th in the social hall. There's a love offering basis and all are welcome. And then, for those of you who like ice cream, does anyone not like ice cream? There is an ice cream and intention social Saturday, July 26th from 2 to 3. Join us for a fun afternoon of ice cream and inspiration. We'll have a potluck style ice cream bar. Just bring your favorite toppings to share. You'll also get to check in on your year with a simple and creative intention setting activity. It's a great time to reflect, reconnect, and set fresh goals together. This will be Saturday, July 26th from 2 to 3 o'clock. We believe in the power of prayer. Here at the center, we believe in the power of prayer. What we call spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. If there's something in your heart, we invite you to fill out a prayer request card. They can be found in the seat back pockets. You can drop your card in the prayer box at the back of the sanctuary or place it in the offering plate as it goes by, or you can put in a request at any time on our website at CSL-LasCruces.org. Your request will be lovingly held in prayer by our prayer team, a group of ministers and licensed practitioners from all 4 of our New Thought communities. If you like a one-on-one prayer today, look for a practitioner wearing a turquoise stole. They'll be available after service. And we love good news, so please fill out a gratitude card and share what's going well in your life. We'd love to celebrate that with you. And now it's time for song, silence, and prayer.
I'm held in love, I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 I'm held in love. I'm held in peace. God is holding me. With every breath, with every step, God is holding me. 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 God is holding me.
Spirit is complete truth. It is life unabandoned, beauty and goodness. All that is here is spirit now. I know I am one with spirit. I am grateful to be present with those who share this oneness. My heart is open wide as I embrace this new day. As I engage with others, I know I am abundant. I know I am blessed, and so it is. And this is the reading by Jack Kornfield. When our identity expands to include everything, we find a peace with the dance of the world. The ocean of life rises and falls within us. Birth and death, joy and pain, it is all ours. And our heart is full and empty, large enough to embrace it all. Again, that's by Jack Kornfield. Thank you.
Jeff G is here to do the special music. So, yeah, welcome, Jeff.
Oh, thank you. Well, I set out to write a song about how the most power that a person can come up with is when they let go and basically let God do his thing. So I hope you enjoy it. This is a song I wrote this week about that. This is called Grow. Cracks in my armor, glass around my heart. My mask is breaking, and this is the start. A journey to freedom, to my higher self. The strength of healing, most valuable wealth, most powerful when I let my grabbing go. It takes some rain to make the flowers grow. No longer defensive, no longer afraid. Away from the senses and the masquerade. A journey to freedom, to my higher self. The strength of healing, most valuable wealth, most powerful when I let my grabbing go. It takes some rain to make the flowers grow. Bricks are where the light comes in. You know that love will always win. Truer now than all those years ago. It takes some rain to make the flowers grow. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Jeff. Thank you. I love the sound of rain. All right. Good morning. It is so wonderful to be with you today. I'm going to try and figure out where to put this so I don't mess anything up. All right. My name is Yvette Trujillo. I am a practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, and I am also your Associate Director of Spiritual Operations. I picked my own title because I thought it sounded very fancy. Be careful what you let me do. This month we start a whole new series. We follow the global things from Centers for Spiritual Living, and this month it is Rolling in the Deep. Right? Like, what? So the title that I came up with is River Lessons, Finding Power in Muddy Places. Keep myself honest, because I got to keep a timer on, otherwise you're here till Monday. So as I started to think about the topic, and I was gravitating to mud, I don't know, especially because I'm one of those people. Hold on, let me do this first. You are the bee's knees. Thanks, honey. Belinda knows me well. I have a little thing. It's not like OCD, but I do, when I'm cooking, I wash my hands very frequently. And I have to wash my hands because sometimes I have the sense of I have boy hands, little boy hands, when they're sticky, and you're like, where have they been? And I don't know what it is, but if I have any sense of like a little sticky, no. So mud is not my favorite thing. However, I remember as a little kid, it was a rite of passage. I grew up on a pecan farm, as I've shared with you all. We still have our little family farm. And whenever we irrigated, it was party time. And it was a rite of passage. My brothers did it. I did it. My nieces and nephew did it. Now my great niece and my great nephews last summer, they were in the mud. And I think they did it the best of all of us, the little boys, this last year. It was really beautiful, comical, like face plants, the whole thing. It was so glorious. And so in our family, in that way, kind of regionally, the mud is not necessarily a negative thing. However, like in the grander scope of things, like, oh, I'm muddy, I got muddy. The mud is dirty and murky and can suck you in. I heard I'm going on a tangent, but I heard this little video on social media the other day where it said, I really was set up because I thought that quicksand was going to be a much bigger issue in my life as an adult than it turned out to be. And I remember being sucked into the mud as we walked through the orchard and kind of having to yank your feet out. And there was a little fear of like, oh, is this the quicksand? But mud was not necessarily a bad thing. And it's interesting to consider that because we can change our perspective on things. We can shift the way that we look at things and understand them and what we make them mean. Right? That's one of the things that we practice here, like a core idea. Change your thinking, change your life, shift your perception, question what your beliefs are, because they're running the show. So, right now, for many of us, this might be one of the hardest seasons in our lives. It could be. You could be facing devastating loss and huge grief. You could be facing monumental health challenges that you're just not quite sure how to deal with or how to be with it. You might be feeling grief and fear about what's happening in our world and how that might impact you in the coming months. So I want to acknowledge that in this idea of mud, that can be a really heavy experience. And it's not just philosophical mud, right? This is real. This is painful and sometimes terrifying to be walking through these challenging times. So if this is not the moment that you're in right now, please stick with me because either you've been through it in your life or you may be faced with something challenging in the future. Any way you slice it, my hope is that this will be helpful to you. And what I want to be sure that I am not doing is offering easy answers or platitudes or doing any kind of spiritual bypassing as we're talking about how to be with the suffering, the pain, the mud of life, right? Because it's like, here's what we do. Here's the answer. 1, 2, 3. Here's the solution. Hold on a minute. I know for myself when I have been in those really hard times, and I'm a practitioner, and I'm this far away from being a minister. So I've been studying this for a really long time. But when I am in the dark night of the soul and somebody says, you need to meditate. Have you been praying? And maybe I have and maybe I haven't. But in that moment, what I want and what I need is to be held in my pain and in my sorrow and in my suffering. There is an acknowledgement that's really important for us to do, to go through as we're walking through painful things. So I want to be sure that I convey that I honor the courage that it takes to just be here if you're in the space, or be here if you're listening, if you're with us on Zoom or listening to the recording later. I really honor the courage that it takes to sit in a space when you're in the middle of that kind of challenging life circumstance, life situation. Life just smacked you across the face. And that's not fun. So I want to honor you. And I want to explore how over time, in our own way, we might begin to find life even in the mud. Even in the mud. So here in southern New Mexico in particular, and again, I grew up here and I grew up on a farm, so I'm very familiar with the ebb and flow of the Rio Grande and the drying up of the Rio Grande. For most of the year, it's a bed of dry, cracked earth. And yet, when the water finally comes, even for just the few weeks that it's here, it brings so much life. It brings so much life. And with it comes something else. It's the mud. It's the mud that I was talking about. It is the thick, heavy, messy mud. Now, in most places, that might be seen, I shared with you the story, but in most places, that might be seen as a problem, something to avoid. But here, in this beautiful part of our country, in the beautiful part of our state, what we understand more than almost anybody is that water is life. Water is life. And mud means that the water has come. And it means that life is moving again. It's flowing again. And so today I want to use this as a metaphor, not just for the land, but for our lives. The river is our spiritual journey. It is our life. And sometimes it's flowing, and sometimes it's hidden. It might seem like it's dried up. The water is grace, the connection, the divine flow that nourishes us when we can perceive it. And the mud, well, the mud is what gets stirred up in us when life gets real, when life gets challenging. So there's grief, illness, injustice, confusion, fear. These are the things that we can't control a lot of times, and the moments that we don't know how to survive. When we're in that thickest of muds, the hardest of trauma, of challenges, we don't necessarily know how to move forward. We don't know how we will survive it. And I want to be clear that mud is not romantic. I'm not romanticizing the mud, although I am a Scorpio. I do burn it up all the time. Let me pick that scab. What's under that? Oh my gosh, I really need to dig into it. And then all of a sudden my whole life is burned up. I do that. I have a tendency to do that. And then when I'm in the middle of it, I'm like, oh my God, why did I pick that scab? So we can do this to ourselves, bring this on ourselves when we're wanting to grow. When we say that we want to have a different experience of our lives than the ones that we're having right now, what often happens is that opportunities for us to expand into the person that can be accepting and receive that change and that bigness and that growth, something has to change. And a lot of times, in my experience, that feels like a really hard shift in life. And I'm not saying that we're all bringing this on ourselves. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that sometimes the work that we do here can bring about the challenges of life that we're like, oh my gosh, what did I just ask for? Why is this happening? And I'm also not asking us to sugarcoat the struggle, but I am asking, what if the mud isn't the whole story? Because oftentimes when we're in the mud and we don't know what the next step is, and we don't know what we should be doing in the midst of it, it can feel like this is everything. This is it. It's never going to get better than this moment. It can feel that way. But what I really want to remind us all is that what if the mud isn't the whole story? What if over time, when we have the strength to look up and breathe, to ask for help, we might begin to see something else forming beneath the surface of that painful experience? What if the mud isn't just a mess, but it's also the beginning of something sacred? What if the mud is the beginning of something sacred? And I want to be clear again that I am not saying that God put specific things in our past so that we can grow and expand, that these bad things happened so that we can grow and expand. That's not what I'm saying. Life happens. People have free will. They can make choices. And sometimes those choices result in really challenging, hard things. And God can use it all. God can use it all. We don't glorify the mud, but we don't run from it either. When we are in extreme pain, it narrows our vision like we're looking through a straw. But over time, with care, with time, with patience, with love, we can expand our view. We can begin to take in more than just what we can see through that straw. Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Shifting our perception isn't about pretending that everything is fine. It's not denial. It's about building our capacity to hold both the pain and the possibility. To stay present with our grief while beginning to notice what else is true. We can do both. We are such complex, wonderful beings. We can be in the pit, in the dark night of soul, and we can also remember all the times that we have come out of the darkness and there has been light. We can remember that through this process that I have been through again and again and again in my life, I at some point began to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you don't see it right now, you can remember that every single time you have. And there is something in that remembering. Something in that ability to say, okay, I've done something like this before. That straw idea reminds me of a story with my brother. We were in Santa Fe at the time, and he was very stressed, very busy, trying to get stuff done. He's always very busy, but he was really busy. I don't know what it was, but we were talking about how beautiful it was and what a glorious day it was and the clouds and the mountains. And he just was, Belinda said something about the trees, the aspens and the Sangre de Cristo mountains, this big, beautiful yellow patch that appears. Gorgeous, right? Fall is gorgeous, especially in Santa Fe. It's a little sweet up there. And he didn't know about it. He didn't realize that the aspens were turning, and it's like this thing in Santa Fe. It's a big deal. And Belinda said, God, Ron, look up. Look up. That's the idea. We get so caught up, and it's okay. But when we are having those painful experiences, we get so caught up in it that we're looking at it so intently. That's all we can see. And this invitation is simply one to look up and to see the beautiful world that is around us. When we can look up or even sideways, we might see that we're not alone, that something or someone is holding us. Ernest Hemingway said, "We are stronger in the places we have been broken." And Rumi, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." In many Eastern traditions, the lotus is more than a beautiful flower. It is a symbol of transformation. The lotus begins its life buried in the thickest, muddiest waters. It pushes upward through the darkness toward the light. Despite its surroundings, it emerges pure and beautiful, untouched by the muck that it grew through. Like the lotus flower that is born out of mud, we must honor the darkest parts of ourselves and the most painful of our life experiences, because they are what allow us to birth our most beautiful self. That's Debbie Ford from one of my favorite books, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers. I'm going to read that to you again. Like the lotus flower that is born out of mud, we must honor the darkest parts of ourselves and the most painful of life's experiences, because they are what allow us to birth our most beautiful self. Do we call the mud in? Not necessarily. But when the mud is there is something beautiful that is possible. Mud is not the enemy. It isn't the end. It can be a rich beginning. The richness of the mud makes your blooming possible. Or the rain. Right, Jeff? This isn't about forcing growth. I mean, I know I'm a weirdo and I'm totally like diving in and going into the fire. It's what I do. It's like a hobby. I don't know. But it's not about forcing growth. It's about honoring right where we are, whatever that looks like, honoring it and trusting that the light will return, even here, even now. So if you're deep in the mud right now, know this. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are in process. That's it. You are in process. And if you can just begin to see even one kind face, one smile from a stranger, one act of grace, one moment where you can breathe, you are already zooming out. You're panning back from that view. Now, life isn't linear. Right? So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pan out. And I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pan out. And then slowly but surely, the zoomed out periods of time become greater than the zooming in periods of time. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are in process. that wider view, that is how the light returns. The wider view, when you can begin to see the sweetness and the goodness of life in the tiniest of things, that is when the light returns. And so I have 3 affirmations just to try on, see if it's something that you like, if you're in the midst of this now. I am not alone in the mud. My pain is real, and so is my strength. I trust that in time, something sacred will rise. So, we always like to give you some practical tools. What I don't want to do is say, meditate, pray. Yes, of course, we know this, but let's go in. Because when we're in the middle of it, we need something a little more practical. Name the mud. Write down what's heavy. Don't filter it. Let it be real. Now, I know this sounds counter to our philosophy. Speak positive. Turn your attention. Focus on the positive 100%. But first, we don't do the spiritual bypass. We must experience what is. If you are grieving, if you are scared, if you are angry, those need expression. They have to come out of you. And then we can meditate and pray and do affirmations. Write it down. What's heavy? Don't filter. Don't filter. Let it be real. Reach out. Ask for help. Call your most trusted friend. Tell the truth about how you're doing. Now, the caveat here is, how many times do we tell the story about what's happened? Right? We want to be careful that we're not doing it again and again and again. And also, if you do, that's okay. God uses it all. Lord knows I have been there. Oh, and it's really terrible. And then eventually I get sick of my story. And when I get sick of my story, I'm like, hallelujah, it's time for change. It's coming. When I get sick of my own story, trust me, a lot of other people have already been sick of it for a while. But when I get sick of my own story, I am ready for the next thing. So don't rush yourself either. Be conscious to not like, it's so awful and it's terrible and but give yourself what you need too. Like, you're not going to mess this up. God's got your back. Create a daily anchor. Choose one simple daily practice that reminds you you are held. Light a candle. Do a walking prayer. In the mornings I've started to, because we have a new house and a new piece of property, and my little backyard is really sweet and there's trees and stuff, which is so awesome in Mexico. And I go out in the morning now, and I do my prayer as I walk, because what my prayer turns into, hello, beloveds. Oh, look how well you're doing. Oh, somebody took a little bite out of your leaf there. Thank you for providing it. Oh, God, you're so beautiful. This day is beautiful. Oh, there's moisture in the air. Oh, right? Like, that's not usual. And it's not hot, so it feels kind of good. And then it grows, and it expands, and it gets bigger. That's my prayer in the morning. Now, I knew how to do the other prayer too. But this is the low-hanging fruit. This is how we begin to engage. Notice the glimmers. Each day, name one thing, however small, however minuscule, that is beautiful, comforting, or kind. Name it. At the end of your day, name one little glimmer moment. And finally, serve someone. Serve someone. Sometimes when you are stuck, I'll own this. Sometimes when I am stuck in my own mud, showing up for someone else helps me to feel my strength again. I am in service. I have something to give. I have a way of contributing. When I do that in the midst of my pain, things get lighter because I remember that I am strong, that I am needed, that I am valued. It is a powerful way to be with your pain. Not turn it away, not bypass it, to be with it from a different perspective, a different angle. So I know for many of you, again, this is a hard time for a lot of different reasons. My invitation is to hold out hope for renewal. Even the smallest sign of beauty that you can recognize is proof of healing. It is already in motion. If you can see beauty, your healing is already in motion. Even when the river doesn't run like it does here, the way that it happens here, please always remember. The banks always remember who you are. The path is still there. And each and every one of you is still held by the divine. And so I invite the practitioners to circle the room and all of you to close your eyes or lower your gaze as we move into prayer together. And I cherish the opportunity to pray. For it is a time of remembering. It is a time of turning my attention to the truth of life. It is such a gift to remember that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. As I anchor into that, knowing that I have at the center of my being, I know now that that truth, that the life of spirit, the one life, the one power and presence that is flowing through all of creation, through the beautiful summer days, through the flowers in my backyard, through the amazing clouds in the sky, the monsoons, all of the beauty of spirit is not just also flowing through me, it is flowing through every single person who can hear my voice. The magnificence, the beauty, the power, the strength, the joy, the courage, the wisdom of God is flowing right here and right now through every person who can hear my voice. And so I know from that place of absolute power of the divine that holds me, that guides me, that carries me, and does the same for each of you. I know that that spirit is walking us through the dark. That is holding our hand, supporting us right where we are, and jumping for joy when we can see the beauty and the light of the greater world. And we remember that the mud is not all there is. So as I remember this truth that we are indeed held, that we are carried, that we are supported through all aspects of life, through all experiences, the good, the hard, the joyful, all of it. The power and presence of the divine, of spirit, that which created all things, all the universe that I can see and that I can't see, that flows through each of us. That holds us up. In that we can lean into and trust. I am so grateful for the opportunity to turn my attention to that. I am so grateful to know that my word is powerful. And as I speak my word, I joyfully surrender it, give it up. I fling it into the law that can say only yes, yes, my beloved. And it is done now. Thank you, sweet Spirit in me. Thank you, sweet Spirit, in everyone here. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Namaste. Jeff.
What a great lesson. And I'm still waking up after the meditation. So this song, about 10 years ago, I was having a real hard time finding somebody special in my life, and I went to a Unity practitioner to help me. And the advice was to put myself in the mood or in the space of having what I wanted. And I wrote this song, and long story short, I wrote this song, and 2 weeks later I met my wife. And it really works. So I hope you guys enjoy. This song is called Home. And I apologize that I'm hiding behind this giant paper, but that's just the way it shook out. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. There's a candle in the window, the shelter from the storm. The summer's bright and carefree, the winter's safe and warm. Sparrows in the springtime air reflected in your eyes. I'll still be there when trees grow bare under the autumn skies with you. With you. I'm so happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Home tonight with you. There's a candle in the window, the shelter from the storm. The summer's bright and carefree, the winter's safe and warm. Sparrows in the springtime air reflected in your eyes. I'll still be there when trees grow bare under the autumn skies with you. With you. I'm so happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Happy and grateful I'm home. Home tonight with you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone here. It's been a pleasure to share time and space with you. Now is our opportunity to consider giving back to this beautiful Center for Spiritual Living. And I want to remind you that every single month we select a nonprofit that we give 10% of your offerings to us. We send back into our community to folks that are doing good work. And so this month, the recipient of our tithe will be Aggie Cupboard. Beautiful. So this month, the Aggie Cupboard is a food pantry service servicing NMSU and Doña Ana Community College students, faculty, and staff who are facing food insecurity. They provide free supplemental groceries and care and dignity, helping our campus community stay focused on success without the added worry of hunger. Our generosity to this community, their generosity to this community makes a huge difference. So this is where our donation will be going to. So please join me as we affirm our blessing and bless your offerings as the plates move around in just a moment. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. Sarah.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
And how wonderful it is to have another opportunity to turn our attention to that perfection of spirit that is moving and breathing through each of us through these generous donations to our beautiful community. I know that this generosity is a symbol of that inspiration, that flow of life, the in-breath and the out-breath. And that each person who participates in that giving, in that sharing of abundance, is in turn blessed. For this beautiful community, for the abundance of it through each of us. I am so grateful. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Oh, my friends, please remember that after we finish with our closing songs in just a moment, practitioners are here and happy to pray with you, to sit with you for a little mini treatment kind of thing. And take advantage of it. It is a really powerful thing. And anytime that we get to sit down and pray with you, it is truly a blessing to us. So please take us up on that. And here we go.
All right. We're going to sing This Little Light of Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Again, please stand if you'd like.
Feel it. Feel that little light of yours. Feel it.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel, no, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. God gives me the gift of love, I'm gonna let it shine. God gives me the gift of love, I'm gonna let it shine. God gives me the gift of love, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. My gratitude for this new day, I'm gonna let it shine. My gratitude for this new day, I'm gonna let it shine. My gratitude for this new day, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
a beautiful day, everybody. I'm gonna have flashcards. It's coming.
You gotta give me a second. I have to go through this.
Here we go.